Hey everybody, how you doing? This will be the last video that I will record for September 28th. And I wanted to say, sometimes, you may get the video like tomorrow and it'll say it's September 28th, but it was from the night before. It just depends on if I can get it edited and get it out, and get it loaded on that day. But you can always go up to the description and it will show you. I always put in all my videos the day it was recorded, okay? So you can see the exact date that it was recorded, not the one that you're watching it on, So just, you can always check that out. But this is from the Press Democrat, okay? It says Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital worker contracts CV, prompts partial lockdown of surgical unit. Okay, and they show a few pictures here, which really isn't anything. 2 pictures, and it looks kind of almost staged. But this is from the 24th, okay? It says, a group of patients are being quarantined for 14 days at Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital after coming in contact with a hospital employee recently infected with the CVC. So the guy, or the person, did not even have it. It was recently infected, See, this is how it is. And what did they say? They are being quarantined at this place. So they're not letting them go home to quarantine. They are doing it at these hospitals. It says the patients are isolated in a portion of the medical surgical unit, the site of an August outbreak of the highly contagious infectious disease. It says, an official with the National Union of Healthcare Workers, one of the unions representing workers at Memorial, said Thursday 19 patients are involved in the quarantine at Sonoma County's largest hospital. Goes on to say, we're doing this out of abundance of caution. See, that's always, when you hear this, you know that it's run the other way. When they're doing it for your own good, we're doing it, for your own abundance caution. We're just trying to protect you. Run the other way, okay? It was a low-risk CV19 exposure, but we want to make sure that we stop transmission of the virus, said Tyler Hayden, Chief Executive Officer of the 300-bed hospital that employs about 2,000 people. Oh my gosh, there it is again. I didn't even realize it. Look, this is another article from the last couple days, 300. The 300 have been in everything. There's got to be something more there, and it's probably not what I thought, saw. If you have any ideas on that, please leave me a comment. I'd like to hear it. It says, the latest Memorial Hospital worker diagnosed with CV19 is not connected with the virus outbreak last month. It says, Hayden said, adding that the medical center is on the heels of that virus cluster event. The outbreak infected 26 employees and fewer than 5 patients. It says no patients exposed to the infected worker have tested positive for the CV. See, now look, this is how they do it. You're just in the hospital and they say, oh, this person had it, the janitor had it. Now we have to test you no matter what. You don't have a choice. That's how they're going to get their testing done, and that's how they're going to get their vax done to an extent, because that will just be a whole other ballgame. We know the military will be involved with the vaxes, okay, distributing the vaxes, and most likely, actually the application and, putting the needle in you, So, we'll see, but they've definitely said that, the National Guard and Department of Defense, they're all going to be in this. So, it says, one female patient in quarantine at Memorial told the Press Democrat she received a letter Thursday from hospital officials alerting her she may have been exposed to the virus from contact with the infected employee. The patient, who asked to remain anonymous, was admitted on September 14th and was informed in a letter from Chad Krilich, Chief Medical Officer, and Vicki White, Chief Nursing Officer, that she would remain in isolation area until October 1st. Listen to that. They only give her a choice. So she's in there on September 14th, and they instantly put her in there for 15 days. Because she came in contact, or how did she come in contact? What is it? You know what I mean? Because look at it, it says she may have been exposed, and they take away 14 days of your life. It says the patient said she's been tested twice for CV, and both tests have been negative, but they're still holding her. See? It says, I feel more isolated right now than I've ever been, the patient said. I feel scared. I just feel like I lost control of my ability to be safe. See? And they're using that both ways, okay? This is, to get you to fear, to get you to freak out, any lady that's in this situation, get you to be scared like this lady says she is, and it's just, and then not only that, they are trying to show, how the ability to be safe, so that we're not going to be able to do it, it's just going to get worse and worse, and people aren't even going to be able to save their own selves, It says a male patient under quarantine told the Press Democrat he had received a similar letter from hospital officials warning he may have been exposed to the virus, and he too would remain in isolation until October 1st. Aside from the letter, the patient said he was told the hospital learned September 17th the worker tested positive for CV19 the same day he was admitted to Memorial. It says, the man who requested anonymity said he was moving to the quarantine section of the surgical unit on Monday night. He said all hospital workers who enter his room wear full protective gear. Oh, they're understaffed for the day and night shift, he said Thursday. If we ask for something as simple as water, we have to wait 30 to 45 minutes, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, this looks more and more to me like a staged event. We had staged pictures. You have staged, everything just sounds very, very straight, or, staged to me. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. It says, Christian Hill, a hospital spokesman, said patients involved are being isolated for 14 days. That's the longest period after getting infected that people typically develop CV19 symptoms, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It says Pete Brackner, Vice President of Staff Nurses Association, which represents nurses at Memorial, said the hospital worker tested positive for CV19 in mid-September. It says hospital officials declined to provide the date that they learned the employee had contracted the virus. So right here, if they're not going to tell everybody the date, if they're truly trying to figure this out and try to track it and trace it, they should be giving up every piece of information, right? Not like, oh no, we're not going to disclose this. Sorry, we're going to decline to give you the data you need. So he might have got it yesterday, or he might have got it 2.5 weeks ago. It's really, really bad. You can see how these stories are staged, set up for a narrative, for an agenda. It says on Wednesday, members of the National Union of Healthcare Workers and the Staff Nurse Association held a rally in front of Memorial Hospital and called on Providence St. Joseph Health, which runs the medical center, to expand virus testing of employees and beef up safety protocols to prevent the CV from spreading further into the hospital. Which is crazy. It says, if they were providing regular testing of all workers, they could eliminate the problem of CV among caregivers. See? So that's what they want. Testing. Regular testing. So not just, one test. No, you're going to be taking these tests daily, every 2 days, 3 days, weekly, whatever it is, but you're going to be taking them on a consistent basis. That's what they want. Okay? Then it will lead to the vax, and the vax is obviously not, almost all of them that I've looked up, even though we know they're already developed, but anyways, they say that they're a 2 or 3 dose vax. There was, I believe, one that was a 1-dose vax. They want to be able to shove that needle into you as many times as they can. It's sick. Says Memorial Hospital officials said they strictly adhere to CDC guidelines on the use of personal protective equipment for their health care workers. Testing all hospital employees for the CV is not feasible due to limited testing resources. There's another back door out. Always leave in themselves these types of comments so that they have a way out of these situations when they get confronted. And what I mean by that is, look, it says it's not feasible due to limited testing resources. So they can say, well, we did follow it. Look, we followed it really strictly. We strictly adhered to the guidelines, but they didn't have enough testing stuff. So that person got through, even though that we were trying to make sure everything was done right. You didn't provide a testing, resource, and so now it's spread. You understand what I'm saying? Head and Memorial top executive said the hospital's main priority is the safety of its staff and patients. He said CV19 is prevalent in the community, and it is not uncommon for staff at hospitals across the country to become infected by the virus. Says, this is the same thing that every hospital in the U.S. is really dealing with right now. Hedden said, adding that the hospital is taking steps to ensure it doesn't have another outbreak. It's important to just reassure the public that we're doing these things to provide some extra precaution and to ensure the virus doesn't spread. It's vital to our hospital and to our community. Okay, so we definitely need to share these types of stories, because even if it's a fake story, even if it's a made-up story, you can see the agenda, and that's why I try to break it down for you to show you what I believe they're doing with this, right? It just seems like they're setting everything up to do the lockdown again, or at least do something very, very drastic, an October surprise, some type of a massive hurricane, something, that's going. If you haven't seen the video I did on the hurricanes that are most likely coming to Florida and maybe even the East Coast, please check that out. I'll leave a I'll leave a link here in the video so you can click on that and check that out. See if you're in any of the areas where they might come. And that's going to be a fluid situation. It will be changing every single day. So we'll try to keep up on that as well as all these. Everybody, stay safe, stay strong. Remember, do not fear. Anything that I talk about, please, please do not take it like I want you to be scared or fear. I just am trying to get you prepared, and my emotions can get very, very strong sometimes. That's just how I am. And but I'll try to, you know, tone it down a little bit. I don't want to be getting anybody worked up. Nobody needs any higher anxiety. Nobody needs that. That's not what I'm about here. So I will, you know, back it down a little bit and do my best, okay? Everybody, continue to pray. Please pray. Pray more now than you ever have. I mean, I am praying over and over again because there's so much going on right now and so many people hurting right now that, you know, every prayer that, you know, we can say is another, you know, person that will be helped. And I'm just going to keep doing it and asking you to do it as well. So we'll talk to you all real soon. God bless.